crap.
Do you think there is value in a remake of the film? From James on Discord.
It's interesting.
Let's get your guys' perspective first. If you think there's value in remaking a film.
I feel like I am in the middle where I think some films are definitely worth, reimagining and giving it kind of a modern twist or changing it however a director sees fit. But in that same vein, I think that there are some movies that may not be perfect, but I think that the way that they were made, it's like, it's just kind of meant to be that way, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example.
So you say in some cases yes, in some cases no, basically. What value would a remake bring?
What value would it bring? I mean, it definitely could be, like, let's say if the story in a movie is really, really good, but the way it was executed might not have been the best. Like, I think a really good example of this is probably Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Where, like, I think that the setting of the movie is amazing. Everything, like, if you saw Blade Runner in, like, bullet points, basically, like, what is this movie about? Like, you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then you watch, I think it was the, like, theatrical version that I think is, like, the worst one.
Yeah.
And, like, you watch that and you're like, this is not at all what I thought I was going to see. Like, this was, like, actually really boring. But then you watch Blade Runner 2049, which I know some people still have kind of differing opinions on. But, like, just with the, I think, advancements in, like, movie technology and, like, I don't know, everything that's kind of evolved with that craft over time. Like, I think that type of movie works a lot better in modern day than it did back then, especially given the vision that it had.
Okay. Let me ask this. You saw the original. Did you see the live action of Beauty and the Beast?
I did. Mm-hmm.
So what value did the live action remake bring that the animated may not have had? Or, like, just what value did that one bring?
I mean, that one, I'm a little bit biased because, like, that movie, I felt like I didn't really enjoy very much, only because, like, I felt like Beauty and the Beast did its job. Like, I felt like it took the story of Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it left out some, like, more, like, depth behind the characters. And like, in the movie, the live action one, they delve into that a lot more, and I get that. But, like, I didn't really need that in the original Beauty and the Beast. So it didn't feel like, I didn't leave that movie, the animated version, thinking, like, man, I really wish I knew more about Beast. Or, man, I wish I knew more about Belle. Like, It was fine.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
I fell asleep watching live action Beauty and the Beast.
It was a beautiful movie,
it's
though.
gorgeous.
Like, the set design was gorgeous. Like, Disney definitely, like, they did their thing, but I don't know if it was really necessary.
I mean, if we want to go off of that example, so they redid Beauty and the Beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did a live action Cinderella, which was
Jungle Book.
beautiful.
I haven't seen either of those yet. The CG in the Jungle Book looked amazing, but I haven't seen
Jungle Book was also beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, the remakes that they're making of those Disney movies are gorgeous, and I don't think they're bad movies either. I think they tell the story.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my phone. I'm sorry. They retell the story to a new audience. They're just refreshing the brand. I get it. It's pretty, it's beautiful, and it's classic. And they're remaking Mulan too, which sounds like it's going to be super dope.
Yeah, that I'm happy about. The casting for that too has me very excited because I forget her name, but the girl they cast for it is absolutely gorgeous, and from what I hear, she's an amazing, amazing actress. So
badass.
Yeah, I'm very, very that one I actually would say is like the exception where I'm like, all right, Disney, you got me on this one. I'm interested.
So the value that a remake could bring is basically just either refreshing the brand, which could be good or bad. Like, it could either lean more annoying, like, I don't need to see this again, or it could be like, oh, yay.
I think it really just comes down to, like, Disney, especially with those, it's just nostalgic. Like, no one was around. No one was around. No one our age was around when Cinderella came out, like the original animated one, And even nowadays, kids, they didn't see the original Beauty and the Beast like when we did when we were kids.
Right.
Like, I remember seeing that in theaters, and I remember seeing it on, like, Broadway, and I was like, Beauty and the Beast is amazing, but I didn't feel the urge to go see Beauty and the Beast live action. But I would definitely take, if I had a niece or, a younger kids, I would take them to see it, because why not?
For sure.
It's re-experiencing something that you love. But then would you constitute, so I just watched Jumanji, the new one, recently. That wouldn't be considered a remake because it's a completely different plot. Is it considered a sequel?
You tell me.
Or is
Does it take place after the events of the first one?
It does, so technically it would be a sequel.
It's just like 2049, that's a sequel.
Yeah. So that would be a sequel, not a remake.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you see the original True Grit with John Wayne?
No, I did not see the original, but I saw
I
True
did.
Grit.
You did. So,
Yes.
okay, Jeremy, what value does the remake of True Grit with the dude, Jeff Bridges,
Mm-hmm.
what is that?
The
what,
dude.
What does that bring? What value does that bring in regards to the original with the Duke?
I
the Duke and the dude.
The Duke and the Dude. I think the remake for True Grit is just a reimagining of with today's visuals. And I think all the stuff that you guys discussed are just pluses of doing a remake.
Right.
And the value of a remake or a reboot is, well, a reboot is more for refreshing the brand, keeping awareness of it, and for a new generation. And I totally get it. It's a business. It's an industry. It needs to be that way.
Thing.
Yeah. But remaking something that doesn't really need to be remade, but people want to do it anyway, I think it's just a chance for today's filmmakers to flex their muscles and see how they can reimagine whatever it is that was done before with today's technology.
Totally. Because that original movie could have meant something to them, and they could retell that story
because
the way
society
they
changes, people change, and filmmaking is constantly evolving.
Right.
We're getting new tools every day, new ways of storytelling, and nothing will ever beat a good story, but the way that you present that story will always be evolving. And so remaking a movie, remaking a series or whatever is just another way of today's filmmakers basically trying out new tools and seeing how it can help them achieve their vision, or make a movie that's closer to their vision right now than they can relate to, watching the original or, previous versions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think remakes have the potential to bring a lot of value to a film because The Departed is technically a remake.
Oh, I
It
didn't
is
know
a
that.
Japanese film, I'm pretty sure. I think it's Japanese.
Korean.
I apologize. It's a Korean film, and Scorsese took it and adapted it and to a whole new audience, and a lot of people don't even know that's a remake. So I think there's value.
Bringing new audiences in, bringing new experiences, and just maybe sometimes it's a different perspective from other characters, fleshing out the universe a bit more.
But then there are remakes like Psycho, Gus Van Sant Psycho, where it's literally
shot for shot remake,
which is in itself is impressive. Like
it's
that
quite
in itself
impressive
is impressive,
in the
but
filmmaking aspect,
right? But you're not doing anything new. You're just literally taking this and just putting it in
and
color.
there's not really any of your own flavor in it
Exactly.
either. So it honestly that seemed more like an exercise in how to match shots,
Now,
which quite impressive.
So see now, one of the reasons why I think, just in my own mind, why I think I get mostly not super jazzed whenever I hear about a remake is because I really want to see more original content in the world.
Yeah.
And I need
Exactly.
I need to be honest, even though I agree with everything you guys are saying, instead of seeing Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella and Jumanji all over again, Jumanji I would say is different because they did take it and do something differently. But I want to see more original movies.
I want to see a new Disney princess.
I know Beauty and the Beast. I
Yes.
know Cinderella. I know The Departed. I know all these stories. I don't need to see that again.
Right.
I would much rather see what that filmmaker could have done on their own, out of their own completely original idea, especially if they were talented enough to take someone else's IP and make it so cool.
Right.
Why not just do your own thing,
So another, I guess, concept is going from animation to live action. That's a different story for me, at least. It's
Yeah,
because,
I would agree.
for example, Beauty and the Beast and Mulan and stuff like that.
Lion King upcoming.
Yeah, Lion King, Jungle Book. These are animated films, and animated films have a different type of storytelling to them.
Totally.
They still tell good stories. They can tell good stories, but animation is a different tool in filmmaking. And if you have such an attachment to the storytelling in the original animation, sometimes people just want to see a live action version of it so it's more grounded.
Yeah.
So they can relate to it a little better. Some people don't because they like the fantastical, cartoon aspect of animation.
Yeah.
We were actually just talking about the concept of making the Iron Giant into a live action.
Yes, I want to
be
do
cool.
a
Okay, that would
live
be
action
cool.
Iron Giant so
my
bad.
God.
I would say, there's definitely remakes obviously have their place in the industry. And I totally get that. And, there are definitely movies that I think especially when they are animated. Like maybe it's just because I'm thinking like when we think of like the Disney stories, the very like traditional like romance and this and that, but it's like the Iron Giant was like a mech thing. Like that would be freaking cool to see in live action. Like I think it's like I want to see something, just something that doesn't already exist or hasn't already been done. Like
I get you.
I don't know.
You want something fresh.
Yeah, something really fresh. And Iron Giant is a good example. Or like I would even say like most anime that get turned into live action, not because they're taking something animated and like giving it a live action twist, but like usually it's because the source material is just such a unique concept in and of itself. They're like, of course I'd want to see that in live action. Like that's super cool.
No one else has seen anything like that in live action.
Yeah, like if they did live
But why
action,
do you want to
Gundam.
see it in live action? Because you want to see what it looks like in real life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True,
So same
yeah.
thing for Iron Giant. Same thing for I guess people who wanted to see Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book, which Jungle Book is like a technical achievement in itself.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the animals look like I saw a little bit of that movie.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes, and like the animals.
The making
look
of
real.
that movie. The making of that movie is insane.
I could not even tell if the animals were CG or not. I was like, how is this CG? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which sometimes filmmakers in Hollywood will make a movie just purely based off of how trying to figure out new technology to be used in other movies in the future.
Yeah.
Like Avatar, like the making of Avatar, the first one, affected the way visual effects are done from then on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that technology.
As that movie was being made, it was
as
changing
it was
things.
being made. And with Avatar 2, and
Yep.
3 and 4,
And 9.
and 9.
You know, that kind of ties back into the remake thing. We can talk about the other Avatar, which was a terrible remake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
That
never saw that,
was-
but I heard it was
The movie
awful.
that does not exist.
You know,
Yeah.
honestly, if Avatar The Last Airbender series wasn't a thing, and that Avatar Last Airbender movie, movie was, the first of its kind,
it might have been like
It was.
I guess it would have
I
been
had
cool.
big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
But, like, that shows how much the original source material affects the reception of the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
live action remake.
It's also why you gotta stay true to your source material.
Right?
true to your heart.
So we talked about this a lot, and just internally, like all the time, and discussing like what makes a good adaptation for live action or just for filmmaking in general. And we talked about this a lot with Nightwing the series. Like, we changed a lot of lore and stuff like that, and put our own twist on it, but we didn't really change
We didn't change the characters.
the core of the characters,
Right.
what they stood for, what they were doing. I think that's why like a lot of the DCEU is polarizing, is because they changed the core of the characters.
Yeah.
Polarizing. Very kind word
Yeah.
to use.
Polarizing.
You took the characters and just put them in
You
your own
literally,
story.
if you take the
Yeah.
characters and put them into your own story, that's great. And usually people are receptive to that, especially hardcore fans. But if you just
You can't fundamentally change the character.
you took the characters and
Exactly.
just like you didn't take the characters, you just create your own
Yeah.
characters and put the names on them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
or
Just
at
a
least
skin.
or at least if you're gonna do that, like work your way up to it. Make that part of your story, even.
Right.
Like actually show. Okay, we changed this character, but here's how we did it, and here's why. Like this is the first
and
movie.
here's why, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Like that, I could totally get with.
Which is
I get on
interesting.
board.
So there you
Next topic.